Hey, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, boys and berries. Oh, it's Monday. What do you think? Monday fun day. Is it fun? Remember the days when you used to have to go to work? And I wonder if any of you are working from home, are you actually getting up and going to work at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, whenever you're supposed to be at work? Because if so, you probably shouldn't be here. It looks like on here I got little eyeballs. There's little eyeballs there. It says 4. That means there's 4 people on here so far. So you're either at work and you should be at work working and you're watching me, which I appreciate, or you're self-employed, which is going to be one of the topics I want to talk about today. Or I don't know, I don't know, why are you here? So I've got a few different topics. I want to talk about email interruptions. We all have them, email interruptions. And comment if you can hear me okay. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm just using a clip-on microphone here, pretty basic one. I try not to get into the technical details and the fancy-dancy microphones and lights and all that. I keep things kind of basic and simple. Because I feel that the fewer things you've got involved in your broadcasts or your social media, the less is going to go wrong, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. So another thing I want to talk about is the scammers on the internet. How can you get rid of that? How can you vet them out and know whether you're being scammed online if someone's trying to sell you something on the internet? And then social media censorship. I'm going to chat a little bit about that because I think it's a thing. And then I want to touch and get some consumers' input on the exposition, or exposing and revealing magic tricks. There's a lot of that stuff, like people just go onto YouTube and figure things out. And me being a magician since I was a kid, I'm kind of curious what the public thinks. I know that my wife does not like to see the secret. She likes to live in the magic. And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And then the surge of self-employment. There's getting to be a lot of people that are being self-employed because their unemployment's going to run out, or they just can't find a job, or they just sick and tired of working for somebody else that might let them go at any moment and not being in control. So they're becoming more self-employed. And there's been a surge for this affiliate marketing thing, which is basically a salesperson or a middle person that sells a product and delivers it to a customer. So those are some of the things that I'm going to share. And I want to check my little monitor here. It looks like I'm not really showing up on here yet, which is weird. It's spinning wheels, You know how this internet thing works sometimes? Sometimes it doesn't. But you got to spin it. Spin it to win it, as they say. So I've been on for almost 5 minutes, and this thing is still stuck here. I wonder if I'm... Oh, there it is. Thank God. There it is. So I use my phone as a little monitor to see what's going on, to see if it's really happening. Looks like Dan Vargas, cool, and Nikki Hastings, appreciate y'all being here. So I want to touch on the first surge, the surge of self-employment. And the reason I think it's happening is because a lot of people at first, a lot of people have a dream of having their own business or kind of doing their own thing, but they go into the job market because it's really much easier than being an entrepreneur and being self-employed. So people will choose not to start their own business because it can get expensive if you open up a restaurant or you open up your own whatever, a painting company, construction company, social media agency, all these different things that people are doing, or just being an independent like fitness trainer or yoga instructor. It's running your whole business, and it's a lot easier just to go get a job from somebody else that's willing to cut you a check for you putting in the time of doing what they tell you to do. And I've thought about it a couple different times, when things get tough. But I kind of feel there's a surge because what's happened with this COVID thing is people have been forced into not working, and they're having second thoughts. Like I've been in the event industry, and I was going at it full tilt with my events, my event expo, and I was doing more live seminars and meetups and socials and things like that. And then all of a sudden COVID hit and it put the brakes on all that stuff and it just stopped. So I didn't think that all of a sudden something like that would stop, but it stopped globally because of this pandemic thing. All events stopped. So I started rethinking, what can I do that is a little bit more pandemic proof, if you will? And that's when I got into online marketing, and more so I've been doing online marketing, and this giving more energy and focus towards the affiliate marketing thing, because people are buying things online. They're buying food online, they're buying clothes online, they're buying groceries online, or at least they're ordering them online, and it's escalated quite a bit, skyrocketed up. So that's the surge for self-employment. I think it's going to be an ongoing thing. And people are going to start saying, you know what, I want to be in control of my own life. I want to steer my own ship. I want to adjust my own sails. And that's where I think a lot of this stuff is going to be shifting onto. So I'm going to comment on there myself and see if it's coming through. It does. Good. Just checking. So that's the one thing I want to talk about, is the search for self-employment. Are you self-employed? Are you thinking about being self-employed? And if you don't want to be self-employed, what is stopping you from self-employment? I know that sometimes it might be like insurance benefits and things like that. And that's a reason. Another option is to take care of yourself and start saving your own money and create it's a HSA, I think, health savings account. You start putting your own money away for your own health insurance. And if you don't get sick, you don't have to use it, and it's invested. And I don't know nothing about the financial planning stuff. Talk to your financial advisor for that. That's my disclaimer. And by the way, my disclaimer is I don't know what I'm talking about, and you're responsible for your own activities. If you're on here listening to me, you're responsible. So, by the way, a sidebar for anybody that's interested in the things that I've been doing online and you want to connect with me, you can do so. You go to MagicBrad.com, which is right there. It is. I got to figure out how to do this left-right thing now. Right there. Or you can go to contactmagicbrad.com and you can get a hold of me. This new platform I'm using is called StreamYard, and I really, really like it because it does stuff like this. Contactmagicbrad.com. That's how you get a hold of me. So StreamYard is pretty cool. It's pretty affordable, and it's great for this live streaming thing because you don't have to download any software. You just go online, and it shares to multiple different platforms. I'm not an affiliate for StreamYard, so I'm not getting a commission by talking you into it. However, I do have a bonus code. If you use my link, I get some credit and you get a discount. So if you're interested in using StreamYard, contact me and I'll give you my link. Okie dokie smoky. So back to comments. So the next thing I want to talk about, and this is just the thing that's been coming up, because as some of you know, I do magic. That's what got me in the event business. And I've been seeing a lot of magic being exposed on the internet, and it happens for what I believe is, some people teach. They're magician teachers. They teach people how to do magic. Some of them are just exposing it. And the reason they're exposing it is because I think an ego boost. It makes them feel like they're smart or they're cool or whatever. I think it's the wrong thing to do. I don't think you should be exposing the magic secret. And here's why. Because it takes the magic out of the magic. If you know how it works, because most of the magic tricks, it's pretty easy to do them. And the result is much more impressive than the workings. So when you see how it works, it's very deflating. In fact, my wife does not want to know how it works because she wants to live in the magic. So when you expose the magic to someone, they're tempted to go look at how it works. And when they see how it works, also they go, ah, and it's deflating. So you're doing a disservice to general public by exposing the magic tricks. That's my opinion. It's almost like giving a gift to someone but not wrapping it. Or you wrap it and then you give it to them again unwrapped. Or a comedian telling a punchline before he tells the joke. Or telling your children that Santa Claus is some guy dressed up like Santa Claus and it's like his dad or something. Tell them it's Santa Claus, because it keeps the magic going. So that's my little rant. on exposing magic. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, let's see, more on the internet marketing element of, I'm going to talk about how scammers can be vetted so you don't get yourself scammed on the internet, because there's some hokey stuff out there with cryptocurrency, and it's just a front for Bitcoin and blockchain technology, and then they got some other crap behind it where they take your money, they teach you this fluffy stuff. And rarely do those people, are they willing to get on video and have a conversation about it, because they know that they're scamming people and just taking their money. So I think it's important to get them on video, have a conversation just like this. In fact, I'm welcoming anybody that is doing the cryptocurrency thing to get online with me. Let's have a talk about it, and share with me why it can be a good thing to get into, and why do I have to use my United States dollars to buy the Bitcoin? Why can't I get it some other way? Maybe there is, I don't know. And when you get into some of those little programs and stuff, the compensation, does it come back in Bitcoin, real Bitcoin, or does it come back in some other made up cryptocurrency thing? You know, it's like if you have a handful of Starbucks gift cards, you can't buy gas with that, right? So that's part of the concern about going to the cashless society. If it's all in one spot, you're going to have a hard time moving into something else. But that's a whole topic all in itself of how money works and how it's going to work in the future. I often say that Captain Kirk never carried a wallet. He didn't need any money. He just walked around and got stuff. Somehow he got to eat. Sometimes he got to drink. Sometimes he got his rent paid for. I don't know, what do they call that? I can't remember the Starship Enterprise and the what was the overlying organization that ran everything? The Federation. The Federation. They paid Captain Kirk a salary, I suppose, maybe in bitcoins. So the video thing, I think, if anybody is doing some kind of project to you, even if they're going to be an online coach for you, get them online. Talk to them. Talk to them as a human. Before you just click their link and buy their thing. The other thing I was going to talk about, these are two of the ones that this email marketing and social media censorship. Dun, dun, dun. So the email marketing, people are still big advocates of email marketing because you grow your big email list and you start sending people emails. Now, if you're like me, which I don't know, maybe you are, maybe you're not, but when I go through my email box, I'm doing it with my finger on the delete button. That's how I go through all my email, just getting rid of it all. And because there's so much email. So I don't know how valid email is as a marketing tool anymore, because people are sick of it. And what they do when they are looking for a new product or a program, at least this is how I do it. I've got a side email address that I rarely use for anything. That's my spam email address. And that's what I use to get the information. So that I don't get pestered with those autoresponders. And disclaimer, I use autoresponders, but I'm somewhat hesitant in that it gets to be so much. And even the guy that's producing the automated emails gets lost in it and doesn't realize how much of this stuff they're putting out. Because you can literally send an email out to 10,000 people in one click. And that's disrupting 10,000 people all of a sudden. So it can be disrupting. So that's my thing on email. Be different with your email. Maybe I think maybe more integritous, or maybe more short, because some of this stuff is so long and cumbersome. And I go back and forth on email thing. What I'm trying to do right now is do like what I'm doing right now, connect with you on a human to human level. Possibly we get on a phone and we talk. Can you imagine? Or if you're live, we meet with our masks or from a distance. Or we get on a video like this. And if you want, we can do it private. Or if you want, we can record it like this. And then I propagate it up to my YouTube, and we can, let me get that contact MagicBrad out of there. 1 second. There we go. Dun, dun, dun. So what I call it the MagicBrad Show. If you get on the MagicBrad Show right here, And you can just schedule a date on there, and we can get on the video like this, and we'll give some exposure to you and exposure to me. One hand washes the other. You scratch my back, I scratch yours. And maybe there's something we can share together, and it's called joint venture. We work together. Okie dokie smoky. So my next topic and my final topic, I've been going now here for 17 minutes, so this is going to be perfect. I like to do these about 20 minutes long. I don't like to do these 2-hour long webinars. Last thing I want to talk about is social media censorship. Now, I've seen techniques that people use where they just say, hey, comment below, hey there, and they think that that's getting them rankings. I think that it is not. I think it's not giving them rankings. I think that Facebook and other programs, they want more interaction rather than just nice post or cool or you need some engagement, some human engagement, some conversation. Can you imagine if we went to a meeting or had a conversation and people just said, nice, cool. There are people like that, people of few words, but I think that social media doesn't want that. They want actual engagement and human interaction. And what happens, I believe, and even aside from all that conversation, I believe platforms like Facebook suppress our conversation. They do not, they can't handle it all. If everybody actually had conversations and they made everything up in front, like say you got 2,000 friends on your Facebook feed. If you went and you did a post in the morning and all 2,000 says, hey, good morning, Brad, how are you doing? It'd be fun to get together sometime. It would be just full of stuff because my 2,000 and your 2,000 and Steve's 2,000 and George's 2,000, everybody's going to be all over the place. So these platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn and all of them that have comment capabilities, they need to suppress it down to a level that they can handle because it couldn't handle it. So it's really no different than say you're at when you go to a cocktail party, and I bring this stuff back to events because that's where I am. I don't drink, but you go to a cocktail party. People click up in these little cliques of 2 or 3 or 4 people. And if all of a sudden thousands of people, it would be like those damn riots that they had. Everybody screaming and yelling all at the same time. Nobody hears anything. It's just a bunch of yelling. So they can't really do that with this social media thing. So what we need to do is get in little groups. And that's some of the things that I'm doing with my marketing strategy is creating little pockets. I'm building out traffic organically so that I'm in control. Not that I need to be a control freak, but I want to be able to feed more traffic to certain little groups as opposed to having a big old, a group of 20,000 people. I mean, isn't it fascinating? You get in these groups. I'm in some magicians groups that have thousands. I don't know the exact count right now, but thousands and thousands of people. And you post something and there's very, very little interaction. Why is that? Is it because I'm that boring? Possibly. But it's just kind of weird how that stuff all goes. Anyways, I'm at 20 minutes. I'm going to sign this off. I appreciate you spending some time with me. I'm trying to do these on a regular basis and in the morning and at night. I've got a live at 5. I may adjust that live at 5. I'm not sure if I'll just do it in the afternoon and just do a morning show because the reality is I don't think you're going to tune in at a specific time to hear me. I think I'm going to have to earn your trust and respect, and you'll tune in when you want to. That's the new generation. It's like I have priorities, and if I have time, I'll come and listen. But if I don't, I won't. So there's really no point in scheduling specific time too much because if you're busy at 5, you're not going to be there, right? So that's my story, Morning Glory. Peace, love, and happiness. This is MagicBrad signing off. If you want to know more about me, you know how to get a hold of me. Okay, be well, be safe. Bye. See ya.